Let's talk about triangle trig. So the big punchline to triangle trig is usually the phrase so katoa. So we'll talk about what this means, and then we'll do the example that you see below here, which is very similar to some of your WebAssign problems. So katoa is just like a mnemonic device for remembering some ratios, and it's specifically referring to a right triangle. So it has to be a right triangle, meaning one of the angles is 90 degrees, like I have shown here. And then otherwise, whatever else can be going on here. So usually there is an angle like of interest in this triangle. So I've labeled it theta, and I'm talking about this angle down here. And then we label the sides kind of as they relate to that angle. So this side is labeled H for hypotenuse. This side is labeled A for adjacent because it's the other one that's next to the angle. And then this one is labeled O for opposite because it's opposite that angle. So whichever like orientation you have for this triangle and wherever theta ends up, the labels of these sides will just change depending on how they relate. So it's always the hypotenuse, the other adjacent side, and then the side that's opposite, just however they relate to where theta is. Okay, so in this scenario, SOH of SOHCAHTOA stands for the fact that the sine of this angle theta right here is going to be the ratio of O over H. So this is SOH. So we're talking about the ratio of this side divided by this side. So if this is like a 3, 4, 5 triangle, you just take that 4 over 5 and that's your sine. Ka stands for cosine of theta equals A over H. Similar idea, but you have the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. And then TOA, of course, is telling us that the tangent of that angle is O over A, so it'll be the ratio of these two sides. These you would always expect to come out less than 1. This one would be less restricted. Okay, so let's use those ratios in an example similar to what you'll run into on the homework here. So I have a setup with some of the triangle filled in. So as long as you have some of the triangle, you can usually fill in the rest. So what we have here is a right triangle where the 90-degree angle is marked here. They're telling us that this angle over here is 30, and then that the length of the hypotenuse is 5. What we're being asked is, what is the length of this horizontal side? What is the length of the vertical side? And then what is the missing angle up here that I've labeled question mark? You can certainly answer this question without using SOHCAHTOA directly, but you should land on the same answer, so however you do it. Okay, so first thing, notice that we can fill in this missing angle right away without using SOHCAHTOA, just knowing the fact that the angles of this triangle should add up to 180. That's like your classic triangle situation. So if we know they have to add to 180, this is 90, this is 30, so this must be 60. Okay, so that's part of it. Okay, so for X and Y, I'm going to use SOHCAHTOA, and like I said, you can do some other stuff that'll lead to the same answers. Okay, so I know that, let me label my sides here. So this is H, I just know H. This would be adjacent, and this is opposite. All right, so X is involved in the A, and I know H. So this is telling me AH are involved. So I'm going to go back to the Ka up here and see if that helps me. So I know that the cosine of this angle, 30 degrees, is equal to A over H, which in this case is my mystery value X. That's what I'm trying to solve for here, over 5. All right, so I can actually solve for X here because I can compute the cosine of 30 degrees. That's going to be the square root of 3 over 2. So to solve for X, all I need to do is multiply both sides by 5. So I have 5 square roots of 3 over 2 equals X. All right, so I'm going to do something very similar to fill in this third side Y. So this is the O side. I do have the A, so I could do tangent as well, but I'll do so of SOHCAHTOA. So we'll say the sine of 30 degrees equals O over A, which is mystery value Y, over H, over the 5. The sine of 30 degrees is 1/2. And again, just multiply by 5. And we have that Y is 5 over 2.